Excellent. Happy Wednesday, and thank you so much for joining us today, everyone. And we're just going to get started in 1 minute, which will be 2:35.
Okay, George, I'll have to call you back, George.
Okay.
That was my programmer.
Excellent. If anyone has any questions, feel free to raise your hand. We'll have a new format of our session today. It's new and improved from this year, actually. Whereas we will be sharing our haves. So anything you have, feel free to share it and don't feel shy. And anything you want or you need, feel free to mention it. But in a somewhat orderly fashion, we can raise our hand and we can give everyone some time to present whether they have something or they want something. So that's the format we're going to go in. And then Gary is going to help us along the way to sort of relate it to real life and relate it to the technology so we can make use of all the tools to work more productively and work alongside with ICIWorld so we can actually relate it to real life in respect to research and getting the word out. Can't keep it a secret, you know, this is real estate.
And we're concentrating on mostly commercial real estate today, right, Sonny?
Yeah, we're trying to focus on commercial real estate. We do have residential sessions, and ICIWorld does accommodate residential fully, but just for today, it's a commercial session. So if you have anything commercial that you want to share with the group, or if you want anything and that you're looking for, just raise your hand or put it in the chat box, and then we'll give you a couple of minutes to chat and present it quickly to everyone. So let's go ahead and get started. You're ready? Is everyone ready to rock and roll? You ready, Gary?
I am. Can you see my screen with the CN Tower and Vancouver?
Yep, we can see your screen. We can see your the website here, so we're all set.
Okay, very good. If anytime you cannot see the screen changing or me talking, somehow you've got to let me know, even if you have to make a phone call to me, because we've had those issues where I've continued on for 5 or 10 minutes and the screen wasn't changing, and I did not realize that. So there's no feedback on here to kind of show me that.
Perfect. Excellent. I will guarantee do that.
Okay,
so can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just wanted to go ahead and introduce everyone to my good friend, Gary. So this is Gary Nusca. And first of all, we want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much for coming here and supporting our event and participating. We're grateful that everyone is coming in and pitching in as a team to share their haves and wants and to continually wanting to upgrade and polish and learn and make our skills stronger in our real estate career together. So we want to go ahead and introduce Mr. Gary Nusca, my good friend, for over 15 years, is it, give or take?
It is.
It could be a bit more than that. I haven't been really counting, but let's just leave it at that for now. Gary Nusca is a very humble gentleman, very nice, gentle soul. He's been in the real estate industry for over 40 years. He has the same type of personality like me, where we try to serve and help others. And that's the way we operate in our business and our own personal life. Gary was the previous president of ICIWorld, the chapter. And he's also, he's in charge of ICIWorld. It's, I'm sorry, CCIM. He was the president and the previous president of CCIM. And he's the current president, and he's in charge of ICIWorld. So, I mean, if anyone hasn't heard of CCIM, it's a very strong designation that carries a lot of weight in the commercial industry. And he was the previous president of that, which is awesome. So yeah, I would like to just go ahead and get started and introduce Mr. Gary Nusca. Please help us out today. And we'd appreciate things.
Okay, thank you so much, Sonny, for that. And there was a gentleman who just spoke. If you could mute your phone, but if you have a question, you should unmute yourself. So we would like everyone to mute their phone, and so that it doesn't bother other people that are listening. There are some people that are listening that don't have their phone muted, just in case. And everybody should mute their phone. Now, what I'm showing you on the screen is what I call experience. I've been a real estate broker for 47 years. And the only reason I bring this up is to let you know that I've been learning something very special that can benefit the whole industry. I've been helping real estate brokers such as you see on the screen right now, including Sonny. By the way, congratulations on that $43 million transaction, Sonny. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep.
Yeah, congratulations on that particular transaction.
Thank you so much, Gary. I greatly appreciate it. Sorry, I was just muted there. I didn't want my background sound to interrupt.
Oh, okay. And so what we're showing you here are people that are doing transactions basically with information, not just MLS listings. We're going to cover both today, and we're going to cover it mostly for commercial real estate. However, if you are a residential real estate salesperson, you can do referrals on everything that we're talking about here today. You can uncover people who wish to sell, and you can end up doing referrals to the commercial brokers, or you can split commissions with the commercial brokers 50-50 and ask them to teach you how to maybe sell a business for your very first one. And that's a good way to kind of get started to learn the business. So today we're going to cover some education for the business. We're going to cover how you can be doing business today and tomorrow, and every day you have opportunities to cover business. And we're going to cover any questions that you have. But then one of the things we're going to do is to bring out your personal haves and wants in the communities in which you're located, where you can talk about them, and also bring more to the next session for next month. So let's look at this as a year-long event where you can be presenting your haves and wants as well, what your buyers are looking for. And we're going to show you how they're kind of being presented. And if you do it in a format such as we've been specializing in doing here for years, it can go very quickly and very nicely for you. But this is all of these transactions that were done here. We're done with what we call information, not just listings. And to give you an example of what a piece of information can be like, I'm going to ask everyone a question, and I would like you all to answer in the chat window. Has anyone ever said to you, I would like to sell my property, but I don't want to give you a listing? Does that ever happen to you? Yes or no? And can you please answer in the chat window? Is that a good spot to do it? I think it's in the chat window that I would like to see everyone answer.
Absolutely. That's a great idea. And the answers are coming in. Yes.
Now, how
Yes.
come I'm not seeing those answers? Hang on, let me click
Yes.
the chat window here. And
Yes,
oh,
yes,
now
yes.
I'm starting to see them. Okay,
Yes.
very good. Now, is there anyone who has not had that question where you ask somebody and you've never had anybody answer? Like, in other words, has every single person attending this meeting had that happen to them? Is there anyone who is attending where that did not happen to them? Anyone at all? Then I take it that every single person is an active real estate broker, and it looks like you've all had that chance to ask people a question and you got a no answer. So we're talking exclusive. The answer is yes, Julie. And we're talking exclusive type information. Now I'm going to see if I can mute that person that's talking here. Wait a minute. Someone's talking and it's you got to
Sure,
mute.
you can just click on participants and mute all, or something like that.
Okay, I'd like to just mute the one person because then that way they can ask questions, right?
You're absolutely right. Yes.
Let's see if I can try to identify it. I think it might be, no, not there. Right. Okay, so he's not talking at the moment. Okay, so we're gonna kind of continue on. All right, so what I'm gonna do is give you the 3 most productive questions. If you went away with this today, you will be able to make a lot of extra money this year. 3 very productive questions that can help you make money over this next year. And for both residential and commercial, actually. And the first question is, anybody that you meet, even if you're standing at line at Tim Hortons, or you're talking to any business owner, any property owner, any lawyer, accountant, acquaintances, anybody at all, the first question I'm going to suggest after you introduce yourself and say, I'm in
No,
real
I'll call you
estate,
back. I'm just on a
and
phone.
may I ask you a question? Okay, I got to find out who that person is that's talking on the phone there. Maybe I might have to mute them all. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and mute
They
everybody.
can,
There we go.
they're able to still unmute themselves.
Oh, can you still unmute themselves?
Absolutely,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, I didn't really understand that. Okay, thank you so much, because now I have muted everybody. If you want to be unmuted, let me know.
They can just do it on their own.
Okay, so here's the question. By the way, I got 30 people one weekend at a show with this one question that I'm about to share with you. If you have a pencil, pad of paper, however you want to take it down. And the question is, do you know of anyone thinking of buying or selling real estate in the next 1 to 5 years? This is after you have introduced yourself to someone and you carry on some small talk and then say, I happen to be in real estate. Oh, by the way, do you know of anyone thinking of buying or selling real estate in the next 1 to 5 years? It's such a simple question, but I find that brokers are not asking people that. You will find out things that you just couldn't believe. And one weekend, I was asking people at a particular show those questions. I got over 30 people that were looking to buy and sell real estate, including a portfolio from a farmer, $25 million of properties that he wanted to sell, and he started to sell them. And just by asking that one question, what does everybody think of that question, first of all? Or does anybody have something else comparable to that that they'd like to share? Any comments on that question? Some feedback. Would you feel comfortable asking people that question? You can answer in the chat window. Okay, thank you very much. So we're getting a lot of yeses. So, okay, so I'm going to continue moving on. This helps me, people. Thank you so much. Here, and they're going to come back to you with, well, you know, my son happens to be moving to college and he's looking for a condo near the college. Bingo, that becomes a want that you can work with those people and you can ask them, you know, if I was to find you a property that suits what your family's looking for, would you like me to call you? And so you can follow up. I'm just giving you the intro to get started. Now I'm going to show you another way that you can be asking questions every single day. And if you don't ask questions, you become a secret agent and people don't know what you're doing. I'm suggesting that we make sure that you know how to do this stuff. And I'm going to show you how to make money every single day, have the opportunity to make money every single day. Does anyone ever go and get a car wash? I know it sounds funny. Do you all get a car wash? Please answer yes. Okay, we got some yeses, but we must have some dirty cars because some people are not answering.
No, yes and
I'm
no.
just joking.
Yes and no. We're political here.
Okay. Does anybody ever go and visit a pharmacy from time to time? Please answer yes or no again in the window, in the chat window. A pharmacy. Do you ever go into a pharmacy?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. How about a restaurant? Of course, restaurants. We all visit restaurants. So what I'm about to share with you, you can do this for any business in your community, no matter where your community is in the world. And here's how it works. Let's say you're going through a car wash. Could you, if you wanted to, ask to speak to the owner of the car wash? Could you do that if you wanted to? Please answer again. Just keep me going here with your, it's feedback for me to help me keep going if you don't mind.
Yes.
Okay, this is here to make money for each and every one of you. Okay, now the answer is yes, you could speak to the owner of the car wash, and he comes over and he speaks to you and he says, may I help you? You introduce yourself that I'm in real estate and you hand him your business card and you say, may I ask you a business question? By the way, you can all write that down. May I ask you a business question? In other words, you're being courteous, you're being polite, and you're just saying, may I ask you a business question? And they're going to say, yes, you're already spending money at their car wash. If you're in a pharmacy and you're talking to the owner of the pharmacy, they're going to say, sure. The same thing with the restaurant owner. You might go there, taking the wife out or the family, and you go to the washroom on the way back, ask to speak to the owner back to the table. This is only going to take 1 or 2 minutes. That's it. And it has a chance to make you $50,000. Watch this. If the person says yes, you then ask the next question, if I could get you the price you wanted, would you consider selling? If I could get you the price you wanted, you could write that down. Would you consider selling? Now, could you do that today before 5 o'clock? Is that possible? The answer is yes, May. If I could get you the price you wanted, would you consider selling? That is the correct question. If the owner says no, they might say, no, not at this time, but I'll keep your business card. And if we ever change our mind, we'll call you back. And you know something? I'll tell you now, they will keep your business card, because someday, whether it's 2 years, 2 months, 2 weeks, 2 hours, you never know when they might call you back and say, we've decided to sell. Can you come over and give us an idea of the price of our property? You have planted a seed, people, even when they say no. You have planted a seed that might come back to benefit you in your real estate practice. So this is not just about chasing the almighty deal in the next moment. It's also laying groundwork for you to build your real estate practice. The next item that they're going to say, if they say yes, bring me in 2.4 million for my car wash, bring me in 1.2 million for my pharmacy, or bring me in 4.2 million for my hotel, or 400,000 for my restaurant. But I don't want to give you a listing, is what they all say. They say, I'll pay you a commission, but I don't want to give you a listing. Does everyone agree that that's what they always say? Please answer in the chat window again. Okay, I'm getting a couple of yeses. I got 3. I'd like to see a whole bunch more than that right away. People, it just helps inspire me to kind of help each and every one of you when you answer these questions. Then we know that we're relating to you. Okay. The person will normally say, yes, you bring me in on X amount of dollars for my business. I'm happy to sell it, but I don't want to give you a listing. They all say that. Am I right or wrong? There you go. They all say that. So now you're stuck. Here, you are professional real estate people. You're trained to sell real estate. You've got someone that says, bring me in money for my property. This works for residential builders. It works for everything. And yet they won't give you a signed listing. So you're kind of stuck. But you're only stuck as of today, because now I'm going to show you how you can trigger leads from that piece of information about that property. And you can trigger leads every bit as good as an MLS listing can trigger you a lead. The beauty of MLS is when you put it, you get a signed listing and you put it on MLS, it goes on the internet that can trigger 30 people interested, 30 showings, you get 10 offers, and bingo, you sell it. Well, the problem is with you can't put a piece of information on MLS, but you can put it on the ICIWorld Association of Real Estate Brokers and Salespeople. You could even put it on all your social media. You could theoretically advertise it in classified ads. There's other ways you can network that information. Now, how do you network that information to make it in compliance with your real estate licensing body? Keep in mind, I also have served on MLS committees. I've been a broker for over 40 years, and I've served in different capacities in the industry for this, that, and the other thing, president of our local chapter, membership chairman of this, MLS committees, etc. And so I'm aware that, and all of you must understand that you must have the consent of the owner in writing if you're going to give an address of a property to someone. Does everyone understand that? I'll repeat it. Please answer yes. If I get 4 yeses, I'll move on. You must have the consent of the owner in writing if you're going to give an address of a property for sale to someone. Okay, thank you. We'll move on. However, if you just don't put the address on ICIWorld, in other words, you just say a residential property, $1.4 million, Mississauga, Ontario, double car garage, you can put that on ICIWorld, which is a networking service to network information. There's no addresses involved. If you do not put the address, you can say $4.5 million hotel for sale, Missouri area, or Missouri, you could say that without a signed listing, as long as you do not give the address. You can say $1.2 million pharmacy on ICIWorld, which is a world real estate networking service. Mark it down, ICIWorld.com. You can go check it out on your own time, ICIWorld.com. You can put it on this service and you can network the information the same way you put a listing on your real estate board that people can search. You can put information, because we have learned how to digitize information back in 1994, and we've been doing it for the last over 20 years successfully. As long as I make sure that each and every one of you does not put an address in the listing on ICIWorld, because you're networking information. The moment you put an address, you've now given that property advertised on the internet, and that is against the rules of different real estate bodies in Ontario. It's called the Real Estate Council of Ontario. So then when you're talking to that owner and he says, but I don't want to give you a listing, you can ask him 3 special questions. I'm going to cover them quickly, and I'm going to show you how you can listen to these 3 questions later, and then we're going to move on to the have and want session. Here we go. If you want to listen to them later, you can go to our login page up here. And I'm going to go down to number 15 on the login page. Sorry, it's number 5. Number 5 on the login page. So it's ICIWorld.com, log in. This is for every single member who is a licensed real estate broker or salesperson. You click on Webinars on Demand. And when you click on that, this will come up, and you click on the ICIWorld Go to Stage. You click on that. You will see featured videos. You listen to one of these featured videos, which will teach you how to work exclusive information. I'll cover the 3 special questions quickly, but when you listen to one of these videos, it will teach you how to work exclusive information. Here's what they are. You ask that owner, if I brought you a buyer, would you pay me a commission? Anybody have any problems with that question? Anybody at all? You can answer yes or no. If I brought you a buyer, would you pay me a commission? And they're all, that's good. There's no problems with that question. Here's the second question. Once I have a buyer, would you cover my showing with a 48-hour exclusive listing? So you're getting a verbal arrangement, agreement, verbally ahead of time, that they will sign a 48-hour exclusive listing once you have a buyer. Does anybody have any questions, any reservations about that question? That's correct. Once I have a buyer, would you cover my showing with a 48 hours? You're getting a verbal agreement. You know, if they sign something, put it on MLS. Away you go. Good for you. It's the best way in the world to sell real estate if you can get a signed listing. I'm talking about all of the opportunities that do not go on MLS, that cannot go on MLS, that you might not even want on MLS for various reasons that I'm not going to go into. There's a list of about 10 reasons. And so the third question you move on to is you ask for permission to market their property, but you're going to do it without the address. And the reason you do that, again, is not only because of your real estate licensing body, but if you give somebody an address of a property that is not listed, they can end up going behind your back. So there's 2 reasons you don't give an address to anyone. Number 1, they can go behind your back. And number 2, it's actually against your real estate guidelines. You must have it in writing before you ever give an address of a property for sale to anyone. So even though we have about 40,000 exclusive listings on ICIWorld, actually the 75% of them are exclusive, it doesn't mean that we don't put an address in place first before showing the property or before divulging the address of the property. And this is very helpful. We have $50 million properties being sold through ICIWorld confidentially. Isn't that interesting? Brokers, all those testimonials I showed you, brokers making tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. They're doing with exclusive information that triggered the lead. Somebody asked them for the address. And if somebody calls you for the address when you put it on ICIWorld, do you give it to them? Answer in the chat window. Thank you, thank you, thank you, people. You do not give it to them. What you will learn in one of these videos is to answer that question. When they ask you, the first thing they're going to ask you on the phone, they're going to say, if you don't mind, I'd like to have the address. And if I drive by and I like it, I'll call you back. You do not give the address, good show, but you can see it in this recording on what you should say. And I'll give it to you briefly right now. You should make a statement that in this particular case, we have to put an agreement in place first. But if you like, I'll try to show it to you on Saturday. You come to my office and I will make arrangements for you to see it. And then on the Friday, what do you do? I'm asking a question you can answer in the chat window. The day before you're showing, what do you do on the Friday, the day before you're showing?
Some people said get a 48-hour listing. Some people said
There you
get
go.
an NDA signed.
There you go. So you've got the idea, people. In other words, you're triggering a lead out of the marketplace based on what we call the opportunity. And there's so many opportunities out there. If I was to ask every one of you, how many MLS listings do you have on the Toronto Real Estate Board or any real estate board, whether it's in Missouri, Florida, Vancouver, any place, how many do you have? Most brokers do not have 15 listings, but you can have 15 opportunities with information working on the internet, every bit as powerful as having an MLS listing out there triggering leads. So it can be very, very exciting. And with that, Sonny, I can pass it over to you unless there's any questions to finish up on this one concept of asking questions to the marketplace to dig up more business, asking a free question today, a free question to any business owner. And if they say yes, bring me in 4.2 million for my hotel. I'm going to show you right now within 7 seconds. I'm going to click on ICIWorld.com. I'm counting this 1 second. I click on search. I'm going to change the keyword to hotel right here. And then I'm going to change the haves and the wants to a want. I'm going to expand the age of the listing just a touch, and I'll explain this later. And I'm going to do a search for buyers of hotels. And bingo, what you have on the screen are qualified buyers and sellers working with real estate professional brokers and salespeople who've got buyers ready to show your hotel. If you ask one owner if they'd like to sell and they say, bring me in $5 million bucks, there's some of the people looking for hotels, set an appointment for tomorrow, the next day or next week. Bingo, you each can be making $80,000 before you know it. We've got one broker who made 50 grand with 2 hours work, is the best one that I know of. But that's how fast business can be done. And in the Greater Toronto area, which is in the Ontario market, those are the buyers that are registered here. You tell me if that isn't exciting.
Very exciting. We have a quick question. Yes, Gary.
Okay, go ahead.
How can I share my exclusive on ICI?
Okay.
It's a business for sale. That's so he's letting us know that.
Okay, so there's 2 ways that you can do it. And the one way is, let me just kind of move this other screen out of the way here. You'll notice that there's a thing here that says for the public. And when I click on that, there are several things that the public can do. The public can actually add their listings absolutely free. They can search and contact you if you place your information. They can add the app. Everyone should put the app on their mobile phones. And then you can actually add your real estate and business opportunities absolutely free. I'm going to click on that, and you'll see a form come up on the screen here where people can add their listings absolutely free here. And this is mainly for the public or exclusive brokers that don't, or brokers that don't want to join ICIWorld for the moment, which is okay, but you want to network your exclusive listings. You could do that if you wanted to. That's one way. The other way is you go to the join, you don't go to the join button, but I'm going to show you, and I'm going to tell you why you don't go join here, because right now it would be $319 to join ICIWorld for the year. Mind you, if you know anything about what ROI stands for, a return on investment, the people that have made over $1 million here and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, $300,000, if somebody makes that, which they've done here, they got $300,000 checks brokers are making. You figure out for an investment of $319 was, how does that work as an ROI? It's incredible, absolutely incredible returns on investment when each one of you do deals. Or you can join for the $40 a month. However, because this session is sponsored by Sunny, who's promoting these sessions, the education to the workplace, we have a special deal. Sunny, do you have the link that you can put into? Oh yeah, there it is. You'll see
Just
a
did,
link.
I could foresee that you were going to say that, you know, I'm
Oh, yeah.
psychic ability here.
He's already done it. It's called sunny.iciworld.com. Now, when anyone becomes a member, we will extend a first year for $240 to join ICIWorld instead of this $319. So as long as you mention Sunny's name, you can join for $240 for the first year. However, if you click on the link that Sunny supplied, you can actually get 1 year and 3 months. So you can actually get 15 months for $240 for the first year, or you can join for $30 a month. You can contact us to do it that way, either way. Now, if you do it today, and it's just to help get people off the fence, I will personally add an extra 3 months on to you, because it cuts through all this other stuff and get you going right away, which is really what we like to get everybody doing. But I'm happy to answer as many questions as you wish, whenever you wish. But if you end up doing Sunny's link today, there's an additional 3 months, which you have to make an appointment with me, and I have to manually add it on, and you have to trust me to add it on for you, because with Sunny's link, you will get 1 year and 3 months. This is not offered online. People can't go here and get that. It has to be within a very special educational session that Sunny is producing, and that's where we offer it, because we just love working with the industry like this. And then once you're a member, you're going to come here to the login button, which I just clicked on login. And when you come to this space here, you'll see that, whoopsie daisy, let me go back to login. And any assistance that you need, you just click on make an appointment, and then click on your webinar workshop 10 minutes before your time. If you have a Mac computer, we use the Zoom meeting for Mac computers. If we go down the page, you'll end up logging in here, and then you'll have your personal record on here, which is just like having it on a real estate board type service. In fact, we're building this to be operated by real estate board someday. And if you come up here, you click on add the have and want. And when you click on it, you can actually add your have or want here now. So if you had an exclusive listing, whoopsie daisy, you just type it in here. And if you follow the guideline of these 4 ingredients right there, Toronto, and if it was a hotel, and you could save $4 million, that's all you have to put, believe it or not. And you just choose Canada, and you can choose Ontario and Greater Toronto. And then you find Toronto here, or wherever you are in the world, because this works for any place in the world. You'll see that we've got all the continents here in the world. And you would choose commercial buildings, hotels, and motels. Because it's a business, I would do both. You just repeat it here one time, and you can say Toronto one more time and put in the price. Oopsie daisy. And then what we usually do is we copy the subject line and copy that, and we usually paste it in the comments down here. And this one simple effect, by the way, we have a special link that helps the market. The location of your properties include in Missouri, New York, Los Angeles, Vancouver. We put a link to your local economic development office that helps to market your location as the top 10 reasons to locate in your area. For every property, broker should be doing this, and you add that in there. And when you come down to the bottom of the page, you'll notice a special button under control here. And here's the exciting thing about exclusive information. You will notice that if and when you ever do take advantage of this service, that you will no longer be restricted to just MLS. You can choose exclusive. You can put as much or as little information in the ad as you wish. We recommend you never give any clues as to exactly where it is. If I said you had a Shell gas station that was in Lindsay, Ontario, people could figure out which one it is. So you have to say something like branded gas station 90 minutes to Toronto. You must disguise it, or people can read between the lines and go direct. So
Sure, that's a good one.
We like this one. Thank you, Sonny. We like this one, regular client. And why do I like regular client rather than through other broker? Well, if you have another broker that's giving you permission to market it, theoretically, you could put it here, but that's not the big way to make money. The big way to make money is for you to ask questions of people every day. You go into any kind of a business. I don't care if you drop your kids off at the daycare, you should ask the daycare owner, would they consider selling for the right price? And if they say yes, bingo, you're in business, you can end up putting it on here. But regular client indicates that you're directly in touch with the owner. That's a higher level of relationship, which we recommend. That's what you always try to do. But if it is through another broker, you definitely should choose through other broker. Then other brokers can make a decision whether or not they want to work with you, because usually daisy chains are not good. They're not worth working on. They're hard to keep. It takes 3 days to get an answer, and then you got to get back to him, back to them. Forget it. You don't have to do that. I'm going to suggest nobody do that, but it's there. Okay. Sometimes this know about can work. Exclusive can work if you want that. If you have a listing and it's exclusive listing, choose the word listing. And that's actually a little better than through other broker because, or I mean through regular client, because it shows that you actually have a signed listing agreement. And that's very high quality kind of relationship with the owner when you have a signed listing. But when you choose one of these regular client, you'll notice there's another question down at the bottom that says, will you allow your listings to be advertised on another broker's website? If another broker brings you a buyer, would you work with them? If the answer is yes, you should definitely say yes. And the reason is your listing will be on 2,000 other brokers' websites instantly. That's a lot of traffic. All these other brokers are getting traffic for their listings. And anybody can end up seeing your listing on any of these other brokers' websites. And chances are they may not even want to sell the property. They're happy to do a referral to you. So you can trigger incoming referrals. And what does it look like after you add the listing? Well, I'm going to go to Latest World USA just for fun. There are some of the latest listings that are coming in the USA. And you can see there's Hollywood, Florida, 9,000 square foot luxury penthouse for 13.8 million. Another one for 3.1 million. And they go right down to 2 and 3 and 4 and $500,000. That's USA. If I was to click on Latest World Commercial up here, there's an example of some of the properties come in. There's an Esso gas station with Kentucky Fried Chicken, development, land, corner lots, retail plazas. If I clicked on the very first one and I went down to control, look at that. This is a regular client. This is not on MLS. People, isn't this wonderful that you can have all this kind of things going on? Let me see. Also, will the product teach me everything I need to know about commercial deals? No, but we have okay, I've got some questions here. Maybe I can jump in to answer them. Sonny, should I?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, I
I can answer them,
never,
and then we have to get started too with our haves and wants soon.
okay, the question, thank you. I never sold or bought a commercial property. Will this product teach me how to write up a listing and buyer contract? The answer is no. You are going to be splitting your commission with the manager, the owner of your office. Those are the people you ask for assistance to write a contract, to write up exclusive agreements. In fact, all of you can log into your local MLS systems, and they have MLS agreements. The Ontario Real Estate Association, Canadian Real Estate Association, they all have exclusive agreements to cooperate and all that kind of stuff. You get those exclusive agreements from your manager, from your broker, owner of your office. That's where you get that. Will this product teach me everything I need to know about commercial deals? No, but it will teach you how to connect with people, how to connect one person who's looking to sell and how to connect it with another person who's looking to buy. That's our specialty, is the connection. Now, if you want to learn about commercial deals, that leads me into the best one in the world to learn from, and I'm going to type it on the screen. It's called CCIM. Whoopsie daisy. You can all mark this down. CCIM.com, and they've got chapters in Missouri as well. CCIM.com chapters in Missouri. And you go here and you go to the education and you get yourself introduced to this very first one, which is CI 101. Every single broker in the world, in my opinion, humble opinion, and I've been only doing it for 48 years. Can't believe it. Anyways, CI 101, every single person should take that course. It helps you analyze the before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate. It's going to help you compare all different forms of real estate, everything from apartment buildings to shopping center. You're going to understand when you drive by a building after that course, you're going to understand what makes that building tick and how money's being made. Also, it's a very important course. If you want to sell commercial real estate, you need to paint a picture of how that property makes money. The money going into it, the money coming out of it, and what happens to the money when it's in the property. You will come out with annual property operating data sheets and cash flow analysis sheets that will show you before and after tax consequences of investing in any income producing real estate. You will learn that in CI 101. Absolutely, everybody should take it. I'll talk to you later about joining the local chapter in Toronto. We have a chapter called CCIMcanada.com. I'm going to give you that, CCIMcanada.com. You might put CCIM.com in the chat window, Sonny, if you don't mind, for them, CCIM.com. And
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's CI 101 that people should be taking. But here is the Central Canada CCIM chapter. You'll see there's some upcoming courses, events to registration, path to the CCIM. Click on the about, click on the leadership. And this gentleman here, I called him today and asked him if it was okay, the president of the chapter, this gentleman here, I called him and he happened to be in London, England. He was in the United Kingdom. When I called him, he picked up the phone and answered it for me. You can call him, and I'm going to suggest that I don't want to give the number over. Well, I guess I could give. I don't want to give it over the recording, Sonny. I think people should call me, and I'll give you his personal direct number. Although if you search all this information, you can find it. But I will give you his personal cell phone number. I got the okay to give his cell phone number out to all the attendees who are attending today to learn more about the Central Canada CCIM chapter. I'm the past president, longtime membership chairman, and it's about $130 to join it per year. And then you can attend different kinds of educational seminars and webinars and teaching you how to do commercial real estate. And so the answer is the question that was asked earlier of me, can it teach you everything to know about commercial real estate? I'll tell you, one of the best places to learn more than any place else you can learn about commercial real estate is by becoming a member of the chapter and then taking the CI 101 course. And that will answer that question more than I could possibly hope to imagine in the best way, shape, and form in the world today. I also happen to be a CCIM. And if you want to talk to me personally about that designation, you're welcome to call me after anytime. Go to ICIWorld.com and all our contact numbers are there. Now, unless there's any other questions, you're very welcome to the people that are thanking me for all that. Okay, now we're going to go and start doing what we call the have and want marketing sessions. And I'm going to go into one of the forms that is being used that we used for the last 25 years, networking information on the internet. And I'm going to go to the add, have, want, and I want you to see these 4 items that you see right here. Those are the 4 items. I don't know if I can make that bigger. Yes, I can. Hang on. Oh, it's a little bit off the screen there, maybe. But those are the 4 items on the screen that you want to cover today when you talk about your property. And Sonny, if you want to start it off with a have or a want or asking others, does anyone,
Yes.
especially, I should add this in because I remember there were some people that sometimes couldn't have an opportunity because we didn't have enough time to present their have or want. Is there anyone who tried to present a have or want but did not have the time? We didn't have enough time to hear it. I would like to give an opportunity for those people first. Sonny, do you agree?
Agree, yeah. Whoever didn't get a chance last month to bring up or share their have with us, please go ahead and share your have. Now is your time. Please unmute yourself and go ahead and share what you have.
If you could say your name, your first name, so we know who we're talking with.
For example, Zafar, you have a business you said for sale. So why don't you share that with us right now so we can learn about it in a quick 1 minute?
Zafar Iqbal.
Hi, Gary.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Very good. And you?
Well, I was, you were giving the, presentation. I tried to put one of my business on your website, but I'm getting this error 500 or something. So,
okay.
Yes, I don't know what to do about it. So it's a business for sale. It's a grocery store plus meat shop for sale in Hamilton, and I have an exclusive agreement for it.
Okay, good. Hi, how are you, Zafar?
Okay, were you
Hi.
trying to put that in the private FSBO area or?
No, I followed that link, go to public and then, add haves and.
Okay, so in other words, let me see, let's see if we can put it in. We can actually put it in right now because it's going in the private FSBO area. And I wouldn't mind doing that for you on your behalf if you would like that. And we owe it to you if it didn't work the first time. Let me just make the screen the right size. So basically we go for the public.
Yeah.
And then you can see that there's a button here that says add, have, wants free.
Yep.
Okay, now if it's on MLS, we're suggesting to not do it because it's already on MLS. We like to see the exclusive information. Is this one on MLS or is it exclusive?
It's exclusive.
Excellent. Okay, so follow the guidelines now. What is the location of it?
Hamilton.
Okay, so it's in Hamilton. And what kind of business?
It's a grocery store, meat shop.
Grocery store, okay. Meat shop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the price?
550.
550. Okay. And we're going to say 550. Okay, now you'll notice you've got the location. It's simple, people. The location, the type of property, he's got it. He's got the price. What he does not have is the sizzle. The sizzle means what is so good about this meat shop business over all the other businesses for sale in the marketplace? What's so special about it?
It's been in business for almost 14 years.
14 years. So it's got a solid clientele. Is it making money?
Yeah, it's making money.
Okay, we can making money. People, that's all you need. That's it. Then you come down here to Canada and you go to Ontario.
Yeah.
And then
Southwestern.
Southwestern.
Yep.
Okay.
And then Hamilton.
Use Hamilton here.
There it is.
Change this to a have.
Yeah.
And it's a business. And then I'll just say a grocery store. And then we're going to say Hamilton. And how much was it?
550.
550-123. And then I'm just going to copy that information there, copy it. And then we're going to come down here and paste it in the comments.
Mhm.
And then down here, I'm going to type in, what's your email address?
It's a ZAFAR period IQBAL at zolo.ca.
.ca. Okay, and your telephone number?
905
905
962
962
9535.
9535. Okay, and I'm going to put in here Safar, whoopsie daisy. And it's Iqbal.
Yep,
And
you
what's
got
your
it.
name- What's the name of your company?
Zulu.
Zolo.
Yeah.
Zolo Real Estate
Yep.
Brokerage.
Yep.
Okay, and now this question has to be answered. Are you a registered real estate broker or salesperson? We're going to answer yes.
Yes. Correct.
And that's how it goes in. We're going to fill in the spam blocker down at the bottom.
Mhm.
Okay, and mark it there. Hang on one second. And I'm going to go ahead down and submit the information. And let's see what happens.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
I'm not going to save it. Hang on. And
Mhm.
you'll see that it's been added.
Oh, great.
Okay, now here's what I have to do personally, and I'm going to show everybody the inside working. I'm sort of like an assistant to everyone in the real estate business. We
Mhm.
have a special button called the FISBO button that allows the FISBO area for things to go into,
Approve it.
and I
Okay.
have to log into it. And when I log into it, I'm going to go into the approve one, and you'll see how it's pending here.
Yep.
In fact, there's another one pending that I haven't attended to.
Okay.
And if I go down on the right-hand side, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to modify yours right away and go
Mhm.
down to the bottom of the screen. And some of my other windows are blocking it. So I have to move these other windows out of the way. And I'm going to click on approve.
All right.
And then I'm going to go 24711 and put that spam blocker in there.
Mhm.
Now, here's what everyone can do. If everyone has a mobile phone, can everyone open the ICIWorld app on your mobile phone? Because you can now see his listing online.
So I also have a quick question. The database 1 versus the database 2 or the FISBO, which one is better and superior? Which one is stronger?
Well, obviously, this particular one here, database 2, has very limited exposure to members of ICIWorld only, Zafar.
Mhm. Okay.
So in other words, if I come back to our service here and I do a search, you
Mhm.
will notice that there are 4 searches on the screen.
Right.
And these are all database 1. When you're a
Okay.
member in database 1, your contact information is available to the public.
I see.
But in database 2, when I click on search the FISBOs, and if I click on search database, you'll see your listing is at the top.
Okay.
But if you notice, nobody can click on it.
Ah, I see.
This is the FISBO area. The only people that can click on it are the members of ICIWorld.
I see. So general public cannot access it.
That's correct. So here's
Okay.
what we do. Here's what we do. If, let's say that the public is interested in this listing meat shop,
Mhm.
what they're going to do is they may come back and they might go for the public. They might want to contact an executive member,
Okay.
and they will click on that.
Okay.
And then they can come down here and they can find an executive member for any area that they want. Now, if it's in Hamilton, they might click Hamilton. You know, where's Hamilton here? There's
Yeah,
Hamilton.
there we go. Yeah.
And there's the members that are in Hamilton. So
Okay.
that person would have to contact one of these people, which has access to the database number 2.
I see. I see. I see.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
So what would be, if you really want to do it proper, and by the way, there's people that have, if you specialize in, you know, a certain kind of business, such as you see on the screen, maybe somebody is specializing in gas stations, click on that. people can call up one of these brokers that does gas stations.
I see.
And if people want somebody that deals in hotels, they can do that. But the other thing they can do is they can pick it by language as well.
Okay.
And if somebody speaks Arabic and they want to speak to another person, there's all our brokers that speak Arabic.
I see.
So in other words, we're trying to have the public call each of you as a member, call you directly for information on this. So if you become a member and post your information in this database one, what happens is if people click on the business opportunities and they search a business opportunity in database one, there's an Esso gas station. Somebody can click on any one of, there's an Italian restaurant right there. Click on that and you'll see that the contact information will be here.
I see.
So your contact information, people can pick up the phone, hop in the car, go show the property, write the offer, sell the property. And did you get 10% on that business? They're anywhere from 6 to 10% people on businesses.
I see.
And what percentage commission would you have on that one? Do you mind me asking?
This one is 4% only.
4%. So you're really helping those people out. But usually we recommend 6 to 10% on businesses.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of work to be done. If you get them the price they wanted, you should have an opportunity to make that.
Okay, got it. Got it. Good to know that.
Okay.
Now,
yeah, go ahead.
Now, most people use Google to search these days. So how would, your, if somebody search on Google, how a listing on your site would end up on the Google search?
Well, first of all, we have about 700,000 links to ICIWorld. We have over 18,000 pages on ICIWorld, and they can find us very easily in a lot of different ways. And I'm going to show you some unusual ways that people find us.
Okay.
If I was type in hotels in Canada, you're going to find that other people's websites come up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if I go down here and search for hotels, let's see what can come up here. I'm going to go to the next page here. Luxury link, a Google luxury. And let me try Ontario, see if it comes up the way I wanted it. I have a reason for doing this. Hotels in Ontario. Try that one. And come down here and search.
Well, whoever pays most to the Google, their name would be first.
Yeah, no, we have something special that's going on here, which I'm going to share with you. Okay, maybe what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it a different way.
Okay.
I want to show you a strategy that has just begun to get you to get your website to the top of the search engine for various specialties. And this can be helpful for Sunny, for everyone that's listening in right now. But I'm going to go back to the login page, and I want to go back to executive members, because we have one member that deals in hotels that's right at the top of the search engine for hotels. I didn't see it right away there for some reason. Oh, wait a minute. Hotels is down here. Where's hotels here? There it is. There's hotels. And the gentleman that I'm looking at is this gentleman here called Stephen Oakes.
Okay.
And he deals in hotels. I'm going to click on his homepage. And there it is, hotelpropertyforsale.com. So people say, well, why doesn't ICIWorld come up? Our goal is to help you come up in the search engines of the world. Okay. So his website comes up. Now on his website, he has a link here. There's hotels wanted, sold. Now he has a link on one of his websites here, and it looks like he's just changed it. Hang on, it must be the other website that he's bringing online. Usually he has a list of all our hotels on his website.
I see. So sharing IDX data, I guess.
That's correct. In fact, I think I can show you that on Sunny's website. I think I'm going to try to do that right now. One moment, please. Let me close that. In fact, let me close this and go right to an EXP website. And I think your website is here. Sunny, is this is Sunny's website, I believe, coming up here.
That's the commercial one. The residential one was the other one.
Was it? Okay. So it's chugging away. So this is a website that Sunny has on the internet.
Okay.
Okay. This is his website.
I see.
If somebody is interested in a hotel, they might go to commercial
Mm-hmm.
and they might click on Ontario commercial,
I see.
or they could click on businesses for sale.
Hmm.
So every one of you listening in now, you can all have these links on your website. And if somebody clicks on businesses for sale,
Mhm.
what's going to come up? You can see it chugging away up there. Up comes this list. And if somebody is interested in a hotel, they can click on hotels on Sunny's website,
And it brings to your.
and it brings it up 90 hotels.
Mm-hmm.
You tell me if this isn't absolutely fantastic.
Right, right.
So in other words, would you like to have 90 hotels on your website?
Definitely.
Okay, now here's what's special. If somebody is interested in one of these hotels here, this one on Highway 7,
Mm-hmm.
they are going to try to click on that number.
Mm-hmm.
They cannot do it.
Right, right.
So I have a question for you. If this is your website, who do they have to call for more information on that motel?
Obviously, they'll call to Sunny, I guess.
I'm saying if this is your
No,
website.
let him give me
Oh.
the credit. Let him give me the credit. Call Sunny, okay?
Yeah, if it's my website, yeah,
Then
obviously they
still
will call
call Sunny.
me.
I agree with you, Mr. Zafar. God bless you, and thank you for giving me that.
I'm sure you'll share a commission with me, right?
I will take the traffic and I will definitely share the commission with you because you will not be forgotten, guaranteed.
So here's
No.
what happens to everyone.
Mhm.
Somebody's going to call any one of you up and they're going to say, I'm interested in message number 404696. Can you help me? And this
Mhm.
is for everyone that's listening right now. Every one of you should give the answer, yes, I can help you. I will have someone call you back.
Right.
And then what you're going to do, Zephyr, is you can call the broker who's got that listing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, I have a lead for you.
Mm-hmm.
Is a 25% referral commission okay with you?
Got it.
Now that is a 5-minute referral to do. Average referrals take 5 minutes to do once you know how to do them. The
Mm-hmm.
only reason why brokers and salespeople are not doing referrals is because you don't get the leads. If you
Right.
got the leads, everyone here that's listening, if you got a lead, you can do a referral.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you get a lead on a motel, and this is the beauty of whether you're in residential real estate, commercial real estate, maybe you don't want to go to Highway 7 and show the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
So you do a referral. Now, you can do a referral to a number of different people. The first one is to the broker that's got that listing.
Mm-hmm.
You call them up and say, we're on ICIWorld. We just got a lead off the website. And is a 25% referral commission okay with you?
Right.
You can make it any commission you want, but I'm
Mm-hmm.
suggesting to start someplace 25% is fine.
Right.
That seems to be common in the industry, but you can make it anything you want. But the
Okay.
second person you can do the referral to is maybe somebody in your own office, on your own sales team.
Mm-hmm.
Do a referral to them if they're interested. If you're a residential broker, you can call any one of these. You can even call your manager.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you might even want to learn how to sell a motel. So maybe you can call the other broker and say, listen, if you can show me how to sell a motel, everything needed, and I can learn how to do the next one myself,
Mm-hmm.
I'll split the commission 50-50 with you.
Right.
So that's another way to do it. So all the residential people, you want to get into commercial real estate, you might split the first deal you do on something, split it 50-50 to start to learn the ins and the outs, and then your manager can help you with everything from there on in.
Right.
Essentially, businesses require, and in your case, Zephyr, because you've got it for sale, you needed the statement of profit and loss from the owner for the last
Right.
three years. Did you get it?
Yes, I have their financials,
There
profit and
you
loss,
go.
tax
Good.
returns. Yeah.
Good job. The second thing you needed is for him to make a statement of assets and liabilities. And it's the owner that makes it. Am I right or wrong?
Yes, I have. I in fact have their commercial appraisal copy of that as well.
And you have a copy of the appraisal. Very good.
Yep.
So knowing those two things, that was the biggest thing. And that is essentially supplied by the owner.
Right.
And what you do is we've got some people that have sold $9 million apartment buildings
Mhm.
and they really didn't understand things, but they put it in a brown, what do you call it? A brown, not a brown bag, a brown envelope, take the information and deliver it to the other people. So the salesperson was the important ingredient. They were the connecting people through ICIWorld. The one buyer didn't know, the one seller didn't know, but the salesperson connects them.
Okay.
And then you get the information and deliver it from the owner to the buyer, ask more questions, deliver it from the owner to the buyer. And then the buyer might even draw up an offer with his own lawyer, or
Mhm.
you're used to drawing up offers, you help them with it. So yeah, you can get into commercial real estate by asking other professional real estate brokers and salespeople to help you do it and share a
Mhm.
portion of the commission. It's a way to kind of get started.
Okay, good, good. Thanks.
Any questions for Zephyr or us on doing this particular transaction, doing a business?
Well, that was great. Excellent. Thank you. And who's next? Does anyone else have a half to share? If you have a half to share, please go ahead because we're running short on time here. Who else has something that they have?
I
Either
have or a
it's
want.
have or want, sorry, yes. Does
Hi
anyone
guys.
want
Yes,
anything?
Yes, Sunny. This is Sia Mansuri. How are
Yeah,
you
how's
guys?
it going, my friend? How is everything good?
Fantastic. Thank you so much. Yeah,
Excellent.
thank
So
you
you
very much
have
for
or
the
want
great seminar.
something? Excellent.
Actually, I have 3 to 17,000 square feet of medical, pharmacy, and professional office, which could be used for school as well.
Mm,
York Mills and Dunn Mills area in Toronto, North York.
wow,
So
great
if
location.
anybody's interested, yeah, especially
Is this
that
for lease or for sale?
it's for lease.
Okay.
And 137 parking spots, so it's ample parking spots.
Do you see
and,
this word medical here?
Yes, actually, all the rooms have plumbing and everything.
Do
So,
you see this word keyword medical?
oh, actually, I'm driving. Sorry about that.
Okay, a keyword is important for you because when you search the keyword medical, not just on this service, but anything, maybe on the internet, you can do keyword searches. I'm going to
Yes.
change it to just Ontario, and I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to sort them by price, the keyword medical in Ontario, haves and wants people, just to show you the power of keyword searching. Look how quickly you can find exclusive information in the marketplace. Look at that. 30 instances of the word medical in the haves and the wants. How many square feet are you?
I think you
Hi,
said
sorry, I was I put
13,
myself on
yeah,
mute. So, yeah.
13 to 17,000.
Oh no, 3,000 to 17,000.
Oh, I'm so sorry, yeah.
Okay, very good. So there's people that
You have it
want,
on the first floor and second floor.
you can see how there's a lot of people looking to buy medical buildings. And look at, there's office for lease,
Correct.
3-story medical office commercial building. There it is. So you can see that you can search tenants looking for space. And we've actually had dentists and doctors find space through ICIWorld. We happen to be listed in some of the university graduating offices where they have an office for students and everything. And we're actually listed there for people to find office space for medical purposes. And they use this keyword medical for searching. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I'm gonna actually put it on the ICIWorld soon, most likely today or tomorrow.
Okay, very good.
Excellent, wonderful. And who else has any haves or wants they want to share with us? I have a want, but I'll let everyone else go first. Anyone else has anything or anyone else wants anything or you're looking for anything? Now is the time.
I have a question. Let's see if you come up with something first. Okay, someone
I
says.
know Geet is gonna have a gas station soon, so she'll share that with us hopefully next time maybe.
I was about to say, but then I think we're running out of time, I guess.
No, go ahead, please.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just in between of stuff. So yeah, so I have a gas station in Mississauga. So,
You can see the keyword gas stations there.
mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm just going to go ahead and sort them by price. And I'm going to search just the buyers of gas stations. And I usually extend the time that people are looking, because even people from 1 year ago could still be looking today
Right.
for a gas station. So these are wants for gas stations. And there's 25 buyers of gas stations here. You tell me if that isn't incredible. You probably never saw this before.
Excellent, wonderful.
8 million serious buyer, qualified buyer. Okay.
Isn't that fantastic?
It is. Thank you.
Now, I'm going to show you the gas stations that are for sale by simply changing this want to a have. Okay. And I'm going to go down and search, and there's gas stations that are available for sale. So if you can't sell yours, you might get a buyer and sell one of these. And if it's a $4 million property and it's a 5% commission, that's $200,000. $100,000 to the selling agent, $100,000 to the listing agent. And if you do a referral, you'll make 25% of one of the $100,000, which is $25,000 for just doing a referral. We've got brokers doing it.
Right. Thank you. Thanks for sharing this.
Now, what you should have is to have gas stations on your website. So here's an example, and I'm going to use EXP, another EXP website here. Hang on. There's an example of an EXP website. He's got exclusive up here. And we have it. There's a special button you can have on your website called Ontario Commercial. I'm going to click on that because you're in Ontario. We've got other people in Michigan. I'm going to hopefully have time to get there. But I'm going to go down here, and you're going to notice that you can have keyword searching on your website.
Right.
People can come down here and search gas stations and click on search and look at what comes up. You're going to have 41 buyers and sellers of gas stations on your personal website. You tell me if that isn't fantastic.
Yes, it is.
Oh, that's cool.
Now, what makes this exciting, people, is that this is going to show your customer that you're well connected to the buyers and sellers of gas stations. You have a competitive advantage when you can have all of this information on your website. Now, gas stations are very tricky to sell. They involve environmental audits. There's a lot to it. There's phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 studies. They have to get done. All of these things have to get done, and there's a lot to it. So you really want to either do a referral to somebody or get somebody that knows a little bit about selling these kind of gas stations and cut them in on the commission for your first deal.
Yep.
Just a suggestion. Okay, Sunny.
Excellent, wonderful, yeah. And I'm glad to have Geet on my team. So me and her worked good together, and so I'm proud of that. That was a different topic, but anyways. So who else has there's a question in the box, Gary. Let's see if we can help Chris out with his question there. It says,
Okay.
can you do a search on 20 to 26 units in Michigan?
Yes, we can, but we're limited in Michigan, but Michigan has some special things. So let me go back here and let me show you what I would do. I would start by searching database 1 first, and then I would search database 2 next. But I'm going to go to database 1 first and click on search, and we're going to change it to USA. Now our USA is getting a lot of readership from the public, but not as much from salespeople. And we really would like to see salespeople posting their haves and wants on here. And it was residential apartment buildings. And I want to just go ahead and search them. And I'm just going to choose any age for the sake of argument for the moment. I'm going to sort them by price. And I'm going to do the USA. And there's USA for apartment buildings right now. Can you see it from where you are? If you can answer yes in the chat window. And you can see that there's wanted USA, wanted USA. You can start to see people that you can be connecting with. for apartments. So we got 25. That's pretty good. That's more than we had a little while ago. So it's basically happening more and more and more and more.
Excellent.
But also there's a buyer for 100-unit apartment buildings. Okay, so that's USA. Now I'm going to suggest that because it's USA, we also search the FSBOs. I'm going to click on that and I'm going to change this to all of the USA and I'm going to change it to apartment buildings. This is in the USA. I'm going to change it to 100. And remember how we had what 25 or 30 or something? Watch this. Apartment buildings USA from the public. 876. In other words, buyers and sellers are all over ICIWorld. You just got to get your information into database number 1. And, you know, there's 186 units for sale in Houston. And there's, you just got to get it out here because there's so much money. We have people coming in from 138 countries looking to buy stuff. And that's because we've been on the internet since 1994. We were the very first real estate information service on the internet in 1994. And we've got a tremendous following worldwide since then. So no matter where you're putting information, you put it on here. I'm suggesting that you're going to be receiving calls and then you just have to qualify the callers, whatever you do. Don't give them the addresses until you have agreements in place.
Okay, another question here from my good friend Marcella.
Okay.
She's saying, this is just a general question. What
Okay.
commission would you charge for a restaurant sale at 2 million? That's a pretty big restaurant. Is the property included, it sounds like? That's with property or that's just the business? I'm assuming it's with property because nobody buys a restaurant for 2 million. So, I mean, it all depends.
Let's change this to let's see what we've got for restaurants here. I've chosen, if you notice the keyword restaurants up here.
Oh, yes, with property, she's saying. So, I mean, typically with property globally, I know you're in the US. Whereabouts in the US again? Yeah, Atlanta, exactly. Yeah. So you're looking at about roughly 5-6% total commission, give or take. With the property, that's about whatever you can negotiate, you know. But
Personally, I'm going to jump in, Sonny. I'm going to be recommending up to 10%. I know it sounds like a lot, but there's a lot of work to be done. And if you can get it for them, why not? You can always, everybody's going to turn to you, no matter what deal you have, no matter what commission you have. When it comes down and they get the pencil and they're ready to get near signing an offer someplace, they're going to turn to each and every one of you. And they're going to say, what can you do for me on the commission? You all get those people asking you that. Am I right or wrong?
absolutely, yeah. So try for 10% and then see how it goes.
You know, there's a lot of work to be done.
You have
So
nothing to lose.
if you can get them the price they wanted, why not, right?
Absolutely, yes. And who else has any other wants or haves? I know that I have a want, so I have a couple of them. One is for development land, primarily in a 3-hour radius of Toronto, the Greater Toronto area. Development land and to particularly build mid-rise or high-rise buildings, not just anything. So development land in a 2-hour radius of Toronto. And to build mid-rise or high-rise, number one, that's my first want. Number two,
Hang on,
Oh.
Sonny.
sorry, I just need to get it out, you know.
This is very good. So don't forget your other one, okay?
Exactly, that's why I
notice-
kept saying it fast.
You'll notice there's a business category here where there's a number of different business categories. This is different from keyword searching. This is a whole category: subdivision potential, condo, townhouse sites, building lots. People, I'm telling you now, and this is, I'm talking from the heart here. The prices of real estate have skyrocketed out of control, like $200,000 and $300,000 and $400,000 more than I've never seen anything like this in the over 40 years I've been in the business. And it's priced all the young people right out of the business. I personally do not like it. I don't like what's been happening. I like the steadiness of that, what we had. However, it's also a law of the law of supply and demand. In Sonny's case, he's working with a developer. Is that correct, Sonny?
Yeah, 100%.
He's working with a developer, which if that developer could have a permit to build a house and I give it to the developer and say, there's the piece of land, in 3 months, a house is built. It's just like that. And can you imagine the immigration coming to Canada is close to 400,000. If you could build 100,000 houses like that in 3 months, everybody's got a place. The prices are not going to be going up. Of course, that's unreal. However, what are we doing in the real estate industry? Each and every one of you has an opportunity to bring more land to builders and put it on here. And if you notice, there's a category called subdivision potential. When I click on that and do a search, there's 121 pieces of land to build. And in Sonny's case, if he finds one of these pieces of land, he can end up building some more homes to help ease the housing crunch. So we are on the front lines, real estate people that make the world go around, because every single sale in real estate that each of you do, that people have to buy stoves and fridges and washers and dryers, and they have to fix roofs, and they got to put in all kinds of things, landscaping. That's both for commercial and for residential. So you are what keeps the economy going. And this real estate contributes to the GDP of Canada, United States, and other countries. And so it's very important, all the work that you're doing. So if you have a chance to ask a question to a builder, is there anything you'd like to buy or sell in the next 1 to 5 years? Take it seriously. He says, I'm looking to buy some land to build some homes. That's an important one. That to me is like the gold that is on the internet. It's a piece of information that is gold, because if you end up selling something, you can buy your wife or husband a gold watch someday from the money that you make.
Rolex.
You know,
So
yeah.
that's my number one.
Okay, number
Let me
one.
say,
there's
yeah,
a-
number
there's
one.
a-
I'm only
there's
gonna
a
say 2 or
whole-
3, promise.
There's a whole list. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
so
Next.
number one, development land, 2-hour radius of Toronto. Only for mid-rise or high-rise apartment building, nothing else. Number two is an existing apartment building. So they basically want to buy the income. So it's starting at a minimum 50 units and a maximum of 1,000 units. And the budget is starting at 15 million and all the way up to 300 million. These are my previous clients, and they don't even want land. They only want an existing apartment building that they can buy the income, and it has to be in Toronto. But preferably, or in GTA, they might open up to that, but that's about it.
So I have a question for you, Sonny.
Yes,
You see this one in Waterloo?
yes.
90 minutes to Toronto, $20 million.
Mhm.
Here's the problem that I see. You're a good example of a totally busy salesperson who has a great buyer. And there's a building there that maybe you've never had a chance to talk to them about.
Mhm.
That could be a showing for you.
Could be, yeah.
And there's a $200,000 commission or more on that one.
Mhm. Excellent.
And there's another one. There's another one coming for sale. And this is coming for sale is exciting. This is an information listing service, people. It's not a multiple listing service. If you've got something coming for sale in the next 1, 2, 3, 4 months, you can put it on here. When people call you, you simply tell them that once you get the listing signed, you will call them back. You'll put them on a list. And once you have the listing signed, you'll call them back. They can be one of the first people through the property. Simple. You can be triggering leads for stuff like that right now. So there's another one in Southern Ontario right there. There's one. Would they look at Niagara Falls? Why not? You
Not
know,
this client, no.
residential is actually good all over Ontario, all over Canada. It's really good because it's stable. Even if people don't have a job, they're getting money from the government to pay their rent.
Yeah, and then the third one is a retirement home. So they're looking for retirement home within a 3-4 hour radius of Toronto.
Okay, and I'm not going to ask you because I know you do. Can somebody type in the keyword for that in the chat window? What's the keyword that I'm going to search in here? Somebody type it in the chat window. Anyone? Sonny just mentioned a want. What's the key word? Hello?
Hello.
What's the key word, people?
I know. Is it retirement home?
There you go. I got one.
Wow, owner and me, we have the same thinking. Thank you, owner. And Marcella as well.
Okay,
And Keith also said it's there.
very good. Okay, so I clicked on retirement homes. I
Was that a
have-
trick question or something? That was a little too obvious, Gary.
Yes, I
Oh,
saw
Come
that.
on,
There's
you're
like,
playing around with our mind here, okay? That's not fair. We got clients for that.
There it is, people. There's the retirement homes. You tell me if this isn't fantastic. It's as simple. Okay, thank you for bringing that up because some people thought, it's a little more complicated, but it isn't. It's really actually simplified. And I'm always here to kind of help you no matter what your level and experience on the computer. If you're computer challenged and you don't know how to turn a computer on, we can help you. We've got it from all levels. From that, people have trouble pushing a mouse, couldn't press the mouse down twice hard, right up to what I call the rabbits, the ones that are really fast. And we have a personal one-on-one assistance. I want to assure you that there is assistance one-on-one for every single person, no matter what your level. And we do it one-on-one with you, just the two of us. And I'm experienced on helping over 1,000. In fact, that's all I do. I'm an assistant to 1,000 brokers and salespeople, showing them and teaching them how to do this. So that's a very good one, Sonny. And there you go. You
Yeah,
got-
if anyone has any of that, whether it's development land in GTA, Greater Toronto area, or retirement home in 3-hour Greater Toronto area, or an existing apartment building, 50 units to 1,000 units, please do not sign a listing. Please don't put it on anywhere, no MLS. Please don't put it on MLS. Whatever you do, don't put it on MLS. Just give me a call or a text or email. We'll get the deal done with the buyer direct to me. And no need to think too hard about that.
And there's a bunch of retirement homes.
Oh, Anise says that she wants a hotel or a motel under 10 million. Yes, I also need a motel too. And she also needs one. We both need one.
Now, I'm going to mention this to everyone. If everyone can go on their mobile phones and go to the app or the Play Store, install ICIWorld. It's absolutely free to you to do everything that I've been doing on the computer. You can do it with your mobile phone, make a connection, go off and do a deal. So if you load up ICIWorld, it'll say Global Real Estate Networking in the App Store or the Play Store. Put it on your phone. And you'll see where it says here, motels. You choose the keyword hotels or motel. And when you learn, we will teach you that OTEL is part of the word hotel and part of the word motel. That way you can find both. And I'm going to change it to a have here. Any age I'm changing it to, because you can make a connection where they know about other hotels and motels. In Ontario, I'm going to sort them by price. And I'm going to go ahead and search the database. There are 58 hotels and motels from $37 million on down. Look at that. You tell me if that isn't fantastic. It doesn't exist anyplace else. All of these are exclusive opportunities that are not on real estate boards. People, you have a chance to work information. Information is what I call the gold on the internet. I've got articles in RIM magazine that talk about it. And the industry is just really, into my way of thinking, really kind of learning how to do it. And we're doing it, and successfully. You can read all the testimonials, people doing deals. Anything else?
Excellent. Yeah, before we pack up, does anyone else have any haves or wants? I put the promotional code again in the chat box. So Gary has been very generous to share a very good deal with us. If you want to take advantage of it, it's good until tomorrow. And basically, you're getting a promotional price on the 1 year, plus he's giving 3 months from his side. So a total of 15 months.
Yeah, the extra
Just
3
as
is
a
just for
just as a
today
little
only,
gift.
but if you do it another day, next week or next month or next year, because if you use Sunny's link, it will be 1 year and 3 months anyways.
Excellent. Does anyone have any other questions, or does anyone have or a want? Maybe one last one before we pack up. You're more than welcome to share your have or your want with us. And whoever couldn't participate this month, we'll have it again next month. So please join in again.
You want to learn more for brokers, you click on this button up here that says for brokers, and it'll go over all these services that we're providing. And you can see, you can display world listings on your website. You know, did you know, Sonny, that there's maybe half of the members of the Toronto Real Estate Board? Have you seen the stats for the number of people doing deals at the Toronto Real Estate Board?
Not recently, no.
There's a lot of people not doing deals, and they could be doing deals just by having a website and triggering leads and doing referrals. In fact, that's part of our retired brokers program too. You could be retiring. You don't even have to be working at real estate full time, and you could be providing a good service for the industry. I'll give you an example. I'm going to click on display world listings from your website. And when I go down the page, there's a nice little article here. You can listen to this video that explains about what's going on with websites, but you'll see sample websites by different real estate companies and sample websites by commercial real estate, other 50 sample websites and all these things here. But a website, to me, having the links, if every one of you could have all of your haves and wants on each other's website, would you like it? Could you please answer in the chat window? Would you like to have all the haves and wants of each other on your own website, where you can send your own customers to your own website to look for listings? Would you like it? Could you type it in the chat window?
Yeah, a lot of yeses.
There you go. Well, that's exactly what we're doing for people. And you can come here and you can see the sample websites. I'll click on this one. Does anybody want to pick a website company to look at? Any one of these companies? Put it in the chat window. Type your company in and we'll show you a sample website.
Gate, you're funny. She's doing free marketing for me. Thank you. Hopefully you don't invoice me for that. You saw that, eh? You can invoice me. It's okay. I'm not going to pay the invoice, but invoice me as much as you want. No problem.
Is there anybody
Write it off
online?
as a bad debt or something.
Is there anybody, by the way, anybody online that does not have a website? Can you indicate if you do not have a website, please? Do we have any?
Oh, Mel has something. Well, everyone has a website, I think, but Mel wants to share a have. Can he do that quickly before we pack up?
can't. I'm going to ask Mel. Are you there, Mel?
Mel, where have you been hiding?
Mel's muted. Can you unmute yourself, Mel?
Maybe he's not. Maybe he's on the road. It could be.
No, Mel Lewin. I've got him here. Can you see me, Mel?
He might be on the road.
Can you wave at me, Mel?
Oh, he's trying. He said he's trying.
Oh, because
Let me
I
just
can,
read his thing out.
LOEW. Okay, I'm going to bring his listings up because he joined and he's a member now, and I can actually bring his listings up on the screen.
Yeah, do that. But in the meantime, let me read his out quickly. So he has a have. It's a refurbished gas station and convenience store with a small car wash on a main traffic location with 28,000 vehicles per day in Calgary with 4 million plus in revenue. Not listed on MLS. It's exclusive.
Daisy.
Value range 5.2 to 5.4 million. And he's acting as a buyer's broker. What? You said you have it. You're acting as a buyer's broker? What does that mean? You're acting on the behalf of the seller, you mean, right?
Okay, so he doesn't have it on ICIWorld yet. Can you ask, Mel, are you going to be putting it on?
That's okay. No worries. Are we in Michigan? Is
Okay,
ICI in Michigan?
Actually, a quick question before I answer that. Mel brought up something very interesting that I'd like to answer. He said it's listed with someone else, but he's got permission to sell it as a buyer broker. Well, you're going to notice that you can do stuff like that on ICIWorld. Watch this. You can actually come here, and when you go to the login, and it's not done very often, but it can be done because you can trigger your own buyer. You can come in here, and when you add the have or want, and you put it in on this form, one of the choices that you have, I have to move some of these other screens out of the way, is you'll see it says here through other broker, Sonny.
Yeah.
So in his case, it's actually through another broker. So he could actually put that on here if he wanted to. And just choose through other broker. Gas station in Calgary. Okay, sorry, carry on.
Yeah, is ICI in Michigan?
Okay, we are on the planet Earth. So yes, you can post information here as much as you want, and everybody worldwide reads it, and you can actually add properties in Michigan on the service as well. Absolutely.
Excellent, perfect. And just a quick one, if anyone wants a recording of today's session, please reach out to the person who invited you and ask them for a copy of it, and they'll gladly email it to you. And if anyone, if I invited you, then reach out to me, or anyone who invited you, reach out to them. Another quick friendly reminder, we have our commercial networking and training once a month. So it's every third Wednesday of the month at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which means the next one is going to be on April 20th, the third Wednesday of April, which is April 20th at 2:30 p.m. Out of curiosity, if you are interested in coming to our social media training, which me and Amanda do, it's every first Wednesday of the month. So the next one is April 6th at 2:30 p.m. And these are the two sessions we do, and all are welcome. All realtors, all the public, everyone are welcome to these two sessions. If you're on our team or anything like that, then we provide over 70 hours of live training per week and other mentorship and coaching, which is included for free. But for now, come and enjoy the other sessions. Monday, the first Wednesday at 2:30, and the third Wednesday, the commercial at 2:30. Sorry, Gary, go ahead.
Nope. If people want to come to this for the brokers here, you'll see that there's a weekly reminder. You can subscribe to receive that. You can actually subscribe to receive listings for no matter where you're located. You can also receive our international newspaper every Saturday morning. In fact, this Saturday newspaper is really kind of interesting because if you get a copy of any of this newspaper, these articles come up, and you can actually forward these articles to your personal social media. I'm going to suggest you always choose business, and you're going to find that there's articles that can be really helpful to you that you can even forward to your social media. You'll find them, and forward it to your social media from time to time.
Excellent. We went a bit overboard, and we want to thank everyone for joining us today. Thank you so much. We went about 12 minutes over, which is not a big deal at all. We want to thank Mr. Gary Nusca, my good friend, for helping to co-host and host the actual seminar, and being so helpful and gracious and humble to wanting to serve and care for everyone. So thank you once again, everyone, for participating, and have an awesome day. If you want to hang around for a few more minutes after, we'd be more than glad to do so. If you have any other additional questions or anything that's on your mind, we'd love to get it cleared up or answered. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much too for having me, Sonny.
Excellent. It's always my pleasure. If anyone wants a recording, reach out to the person who invited you.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Sonny. Have a fantastic day, everyone.
Thanks,
Okay.
Mr. Sia.